Using Russian prisoners, Ukrainian Special Operation Forces ambushed Russian reinforcement in Kursk. Ukrainian team fighters conducted an operation that destroyed a platoon of Marines and their equipment. 2 BTR-82A destroyed and 1 damaged. The BTR were shot with AT-4, and the surviving Russians were finished off by a sniper. The Russians assumed that the position was still held by the Reds and move unsuspecting of the trap. 20 dead. The ongoing battles in Russia's Kursk region are marked by intense fighting, with Russian Marines, including elite units like airborne troops, suffering significant losses against Ukrainian forces. Ukraine's defensive tactics, including mines, artillery, and drones, have effectively disrupted Russian advances. For instance, in a recent skirmish, Ukrainian forces destroyed 22 Russian vehicles and inflicted substantial casualties. Russia is reportedly shifting its strategy to rely on lighter, wheeled vehicles due to losses of heavier tracked equipment. Despite heavy Russian offensives, Ukraine continues to hold its positions in Kursk, leveraging its experience and resources to counteract large-scale attacks. The situation is fluid, with both sides investing heavily in this strategic region. Russia aims to reclaim territory to strengthen its position in upcoming diplomatic and military efforts, but the same goes for Ukraine. Kursk Hospital. There is no room in the wards. The wounded are piled in the corridors. But no problem, because a volunteer with a kind word will fix everything. Russia is with you, brother, he says, holding out a package. Thank you, brother, the wounded soldier answers, lying on his bed. A warehouse in Nizhny Novgorod completely burnt down, details unknown. The Crimea bridge has been attacked this morning with sea drones. Russians say no damages, but who knows? Russia rounds up illegal migrants at construction sites because there are no more enough Russians to die in Ukraine. All the signs of a great power. Russia ran out of suckers. The influx of volunteers into the Russian army has noticeably decreased, although the payment for signing a contract has doubled. On average, the Russian armed forces recruit about 600 people a day, which may be less than the current losses. The recruitment of military personnel for contracts with the Russian armed forces in the third quarter of 2024 decreased compared to the second quarter. This follows from the report on the execution of the federal budget, published on the unified portal of the budget system. Currently, the recruitment of new contract soldiers on average barely covers current losses. It can be stated with more certainty that the current situation does not allow the Russian armed forces to accumulate significant reserves of many thousands, but at the same time does not lead to a sharp collapse. But in the same time, the Russian labor market is facing acute shortages due to the ongoing war in Ukraine and associated mobilization efforts. Since 2022, the call-up of reservists and volunteers, combined with mass emigration of young professionals to avoid conscription, has left many industries severely understaffed. An estimated 4.8 million workers are needed, with unemployment at a historic low of 2.6% by mid-2024. That's why Russia has recruited hundreds of Yemeni men to fight in Ukraine, lured by the promise of high salaries and potential Russian citizenship. But upon arrival in Russia, the Yemenis received bank cards with 1.9 million rubles on them, but later 1.5 million rubles were withdrawn from them, the interlocutor said. According to him, the money was taken by the Russian recruiting company with which the Yemenis signed the contract. In short, most of the payments were taken away from Yemenis recruited into the Russian army. Now they want to go back, but it's late for that, guys.
What's your problem? The problem we want to see a big commander. Okay. We want to call the embassy. Okay. That's it. You give us some people, he's have knife. I don't scare. I say, I don't care. You want strong? You want strong? We can fight here for day. I don't care. I don't care. He give us some people. He's not knife, hot knife, and he say, oh.
It's you first. You first. You first. You first. Он с топором сидит. Я сказал взять под арест. Курск сказал привязать его к дереву.
Дай топор, или команд. Аксель. Почему? Давай сюда топор.
По одному на выход, давай, команду. По одному на выход. По одному на выход. На выход по одному, блин.
И толк он застрит.
По одному на выход.
Он застрит, толк он застрит. Спит, он застрит.
Everything. People.
Not on the house.
По одному на выход.
No.
Не, no.
On the street, don't house. House is
По одному на выход. На построение. Объяви построение. It's alcohol.
And back to Syria. The rebel conquest of Hama, as well as the push further south all the way to Al-Rastan, can be only described as absolute seismic. Within a day, the front line got pushed further south by more 20 miles. For comparison, this is the distance the Russian took within an entire year in Ukraine while losing 250,000 troops. What's happening in Syria is how a real catastrophic collapse of a front line looks like. It has become clearer than any time in the past that the time for Assad has ended. We are now at the stage where all actors are thinking and planning exit strategies, but the window is fast closing. If rebels are continuing with the speed like this, then they will be in Damascus before the month's end, and then true realities on the ground will determine Syria's future. And what is even more important, Russia will lose its only warm water port in the Mediterranean Sea as rebels keep advancing. If that happens, Putin's position will become even more precarious. His catastrophic invasion of Ukraine and retreat from Syria would seal his fate.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.